Hey gamers, I got a fun one for you today. Challenge of the Superfreinds, the card game. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is extremely simple. What you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these four characters: Superman, Batman and Robin, Aquaman, or Wonder Woman. You're going to deal out 3 cards in the player's hand, and you're set to go. You're going to deal out as many objective cards as there are players in the game. So in this case, I fill out 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, anything with writing on it at the very beginning, the first round, must be reshuffled and brought out one with just the point cards here. And what you're going to do is each player is going to look at their hand and they're going to choose cards from their hand. Sometimes special cards here, meaning only this actual player, the Batman player, has this, and then regular cards, which means every player has this type of card. Now, it's the same number on the big for everyone. Like everyone has a samurai card for Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman in their deck that's worth 1, but the secondary number is the tiebreaker. So if 2 people play samurai, whatever the secondary number, which are always different, that is who would go first, because it's the highest card that would go first. And of course, there's special things here. If I go first this round, I can also get a Riddler or a Scarecrow. Well, there's a Riddler out, so maybe I can grab one of these and the Riddler as well. So I put this face down. Then every other player, let's say, places one face down, and then we all reveal. And of course, whoever has the highest one wins here. So in a tie, it would be Aquaman, because he has 48, I have 28, so Aquaman would go first. And when revealed, you may give your challenge to another player. If challenge cards are usually gotten on different cards that you have, in fact, there's a Green Lantern card that's the biggest number, and you always have to draw a challenge card. These are always bad, and sometimes they stick with you. So Aquaman would play this. If he had a challenge card, he could give it to another player in the game. They all have easy to read and understand directions at the bottom of each card. So if anyone else played a Flash, he may add another card from his hand and combine the value of those 2 cards. And what you're doing is you're trying to pick first because you want to get obviously the biggest point card. Now, even if there are negative cards in the deck, you have to choose the negative card unless you have a card in your deck that tells you you don't have to. For instance, Black Vulcan says, hey, you can't gain an objective card with negative victory points this round. So if you see like 3 of them negative, you're like, man, I'm not going to win that. Play Black Vulcan. Hawkman lets you switch cards with someone else with an even number. Apache Chief, if you have to when you gain an objective card, have someone else fill out a challenge card. Wonder Twins, if anyone has Wonder Twins in their hand at the time, one of their 3 cards, this card gets worth point plus 3, so it gets more and more valuable when you do that. And then of course there's Green Lantern, he's the 10, but you have to draw a challenge card. And then of course special cards do different things as well, and the special cards are the only thing different in each one's deck. And what you're going to be doing after that, you'll discard these cards and then deal out 4 more. Dealing out any challenges and dealing with other special powers as you see fit. Now the game ends after 6 rounds. After 6 rounds, you'll count up all your negative and positive points here. As you see, there's some Toyman, there's some -6, -5, -10. Ooh, but you'd add them all up, and of course whoever has the most points wins. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Well, first off, I do not like card games. I have very few card games in my collection. I could probably count on one hand out of the 200 games I have, how many card games I have, and this is one of the ones that are in that list. But I had to get it because it's from one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. Folks, this is the reason I'm a big DC superhero fan, because I grew up watching the Superfreinds. Now, when I heard there was a card game, at first, for 1 second I got excited, then I thought, oh no, this is going to be an awful game. It's not going to be worth it. Just the IP is going to interest people like me. But to be honest, it's a really fun game. Very simple, but there is some strategy and it is fun to get. Now, unfortunately, I don't think anyone's going to buy this game, because this is a very limited group of people who remember this cartoon. I mean, you think about it, if you're between the age of 38 and 44, maybe 39 and 45 even, you would get this game. You would understand this. You've seen the cartoon. I don't think anyone younger has seen it, and anyone older, it was too kiddie for them back in the day. I don't know who would want to play this game. I mean, besides me. Yeah, I'd love to play this game. I play it with my nephews. They thought it was fun, but at the same time, the artwork is kind of goofy versions of characters that they know they're a lot cooler now. But it is fun for people who remember this IP here and say, oh, I remember that. I loved it. But is the game that good? Yeah, go ahead and get it. This reminds me a lot of Monster Crunch. That General Mills game, we're talking about all the monster cereals, where you're trying to eat the most cereal over 3 rounds. I really enjoyed that game. That one surprised me. Well, add this one to the list. I got it because I couldn't help it because it said Superfreinds. I had to try it out, and I'm so thankful it's a great game. In fact, Aquaman's one of the characters, not that Aquaman's my favorite character, but it's kind of funny that Aquaman was one of the main decks you play with. Why not Green Lantern? I think Green Lantern would be more popular, but they went with Aquaman because I guess he was one of the core 4. Actually, now I just answered my own question right now. He was one of the core 4 of the first, Superfreinds they featured. So that's probably why he was on there. But anyway, oh man, this is a super fun game. If you're not familiar with the cartoon though, you're probably not going to want it. It is a very simple game, so if you're a serious board gamer or someone serious in the card games, you won't want it either. So very select few people would want this, but it is cheap, very cheap online to get. I think you can get this for like $9 or something, or $7 if you catch it at the right time on Amazon. Anyway, for my money, great game. One of the few, welcome to the collection, one of the few card games in my collection. Challenge of the Superfreinds. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on.